The Bilyonaryo News Channel.
The latest news, national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront. Good morning. I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno. The filing of candidacies for the 2025 midterm elections begins tomorrow, and election fever will soon heat up. Familiar names and newbies in politics will do practically everything to get the votes and the positions they are aspiring for. Amidst being hounded by issues of political dynasty, candidates from political families always have the perceived advantage due to name recall. But will a prominent last name be enough to win in the midterm elections? He looks familiar, he sounds familiar, because he's the spitting image of his famous father. At the forefront is SAGIP Party-list President, the son of Congressman Rodante Marcoleta, Paolo Henry Marcoleta. Good morning, Paulo.
Hi, good morning, Attorney Karen. Thank you for having me here in your show.
Let's start first with your father. What made your father, Congressman Rodante, enter politics?
First of all, he started as a pro bono lawyer. He's been a lawyer for almost 20 years, and most of his cases are pro bono. 60% of the cases he's handling are demolition, eviction cases from small communities. He never charges these people for the legal services that he's offering. And he thought of, maybe I could be more effective in serving the people if I run for public office. And there was a clamor for him to seek public office because of his stand to protect the marginalized sector of our society.
So during that time, when you were growing up, who was the breadwinner in your family? If your father was practically holding most of the cases that are pro bono?
He remains to be the breadwinner kasi he tries to balance things. On one side, andyan po yung mga urban poor families as his major clientele. And on one side, andyan po yung mga corporate side, big companies. Diyan po niya nababawi yung ano niya. So, siya pa rin naman po ang bumubuhay sa amin nung kami po ay nag-aaral pa.
So he decided to enter politics in what year?
2004.
Okay, so it's been 20 years.
Yes.
And do you intend to follow in the footsteps of your father? You're going to run this year.
Kung ako po ay tatanungin, kasi I've been on the sidelines for the last 20 years, assisting my father as his chief of staff. And I've been effective naman as his aide, political aide. Kaya lang, this is the second time that he'll be graduating as party list representative. Sabi nila, I'm the logical choice to succeed him. Pero it's the party, the executive board of the party who decides.
Why were you the logical choice? Is it because you look the same as your father?
Baka po magalit siya. Sabi niya po kasi mas gwapo siya, nandi hamak eh.
But you are also a lawyer, or?
Ay, hindi po. I'm a graduate of Masters in Business Administration in Ateneo Rockwell, and I had some education in public administration in UP, and yun nga po, since 2004 I've been serving as Chief Political Affairs for my dad.
And you were previously an award-winning actor.
Who said that?
Well, actually, it's in our research. You were recognized as PMPC Star Awards New Movie Actor of the Year for the movie Guerrero Dos in 2022.
Yes, it's an independent movie. It's produced by the Iglesia ni Cristo, EBC Films, and it intends to promote Christian values. No, it's a values-laden film.
Before that, were you in other acting roles?
I appear mostly in our church production. Yes.
So you're an active member of the Iglesia ni Cristo.
Yes, Attorney Karen.
Do you and your father perceive the INC as an advantage, like having that voting bloc when you go into politics?
Well, I think any politician would subscribe to that belief that the church voting bloc of the Iglesia ni Cristo plays a large impact in your electoral victory as a public servant.
What are your thoughts and experiences when it comes to your father being a controversial politician? For example, recently in the budget hearings, he was one of those people that defended Vice President Sara Duterte. And he's also had a lot of verbal exchanges with other congressmen. How did you take that?
Well, it was unplanned. Yun pong nangyari. Si Daddy po kasi, he sees things in black and white. Either mali ka or tama ka. So ito po, yung nakita niya, the way the OVP budget is being handled in Congress, parang hindi na tama sa tingin niya dahil if you look at the President, even Vice President Leonor Robredo did not experience such scrutiny and yung panggigisa na ginagawa nila despite belonging to the opposition, hindi naman siya humarap sa ganyang panghihiya na ginagawa ngayon sa Kamara.
A lot of people don't know your personality compared to your father. If you were to be elected in Congress as a party-list nominee, will you have similar views or the same character as your father?
Siguro po, I myself I have big shoes to fill. Kasi yung daddy ko po kasi is an accomplished, brilliant legislator. Pero tingin ko po hindi ko susundan yung kanyang estilo. Dahil baka hindi ko kaya yung ganun yung pagiging controversial. Siguro I will take the quieter path. No, siguro iba siguro pong magiging diskarte ko pag ako po ay pinalad na maupo bilang representante ng aming partido.
So I guess, did you take after your mom as well? Malumanay ba ang mommy mo?
Si mami ko po ang nerbyosa. Kasi kung ganun, siyempre I consider her health. No? Kung ganyan na controversial lagi si daddy at laging kinakabahan ng aking nanay, siguro kung ako iisipin ko yung kalusugan ng nanay ko, siguro isasaalang-alang ko yung niya na hindi masangkot sa mga ganyang klase ng kontrobersiya. Pero looking back, I think it's bound to happen. I mean, yung mga ginawa po ni Daddy, kung titimbangin mo wala naman pong mali doon dahil may pinaglalaban naman po siya.
And how would you describe yourself if you had to choose just one or two words to distinguish yourself from your dad?
I'm the cooler version of my dad.
Cooler from the temper side and also like cooler na mas...
In all aspects, siguro.
And how do you deal with the criticisms and bashings? Alam mo naman sa social media, every time na lang, there's so many comments. How do you handle that?
Alam niyo po, si Daddy, he can sleep soundly with all those bashing and criticisms. He eats bashing and criticisms for breakfast.
And for you?
Sa akin, ako mas emotional po ako eh. Oh. So, hanggat maaari, I shy away from the limelight. Oh.
But do you get affected when there are a lot of negative comments or bashing against your dad?
Of course po, bilang anak niya, ako po'y nasasaktan din. Pero weighing and considering things, nakikita ko po na mas maraming humahanga sa kanya ngayon kaysa sa naninira.
So what are your similarities with your dad? We can see that there are some differences. You seem to be at least more sensitive, especially when it comes to considering also the health of your mom. But what would be some of the similarities with your dad?
Siguro yung pagiging, bolero tuloy. Yung pagiging palabiro. Yan, a lot of people don't see that in my father. Pero once you get to know him better, tawag nga sa kanya, buskador, mahilig mang-asar eh. So, siguro yun po ang namana ko sa kanya, yung pagiging palabiro.
And if you were to go to Congress and be elected, what would be one of your primary advocacies?
Well, it would be to continue the legacy of SAGIP in pursuing pro-poor legislation. Si Dad po ang isa sa mga foremost proponents ng Magna Carta of the Poor, Cheaper Medicines Act, and other related legislation na nakatuon po sa mahihirap.
I'm going to give you two choices, and you just have to pick one and explain very, very briefly in a few words. So first, crafting legislation or memorizing a script?
Crafting legislation.
Okay. Helping the poor or helping the sick?
Helping the poor kasi mas all-encompassing yan eh.
Congress or Senate?
Siguro magsimula po muna tayo sa Congress.
Vice President Sara or former President Rodrigo Duterte?
Siguro it's VP's time now.
Harris or Trump?
Harris or Trump? Trump tayo sa ngayon.
Confidential funds or no confidential funds?
Confidential funds, as long as they are utilized in proper manner.
Two-party or multi-party system?
Two-party system.
Manila Bay reclamation or maintaining the Bay Area?
Maintaining the Bay Area.
Jeepney phase out or modernization of jeepneys?
I'm for modernization, provided the road network is also fixed.
Loyalty or political survival?
Loyalty to what? To the Constitution? To the laws of the land?
A good question. I think to the party. You know, we've seen Filipino politicians always jumping from one party to another.
Yeah, I think you should be loyal to your principles. Sa akin, ganun eh. My dad has always been part of the majority, part of the administration, but that doesn't mean that he could not call out the lapses of the House leadership. So, you should maintain an independent mind.
Thank you so much, Paulo. It was really good to get to know you better compared to your famous father. And we'll have you again later. But for now, we'll have someone joining us. She's similar to Paolo Marcoleta in that she also first had her career in showbiz before entering politics. She used to be a member of ABS-CBN Star Circle, a batchmate of Heart Evangelista. We'll get to meet the Vice Mayor of re-electionist Isko Moreno after we take a short break. At the Forefront, we'll be right back.
心啦，咁就同埋啲屋企朋友一齊即係星期五嘅下午可以過嚟感受下即係葡萄牙嘅氣氛啦，可以試到啲唔同特色嘅美食啦。咁就算即係唔使離開香港，喺翻中環呢個鬧市都可以感受到唔同嘅國家嘅美食啦，同埋嘅文化啦。
The idea of the festival basically is to bring a bit of culture, tradition that we have in Portugal to Hong Kong, letting the locals and expats experience what it's like to actually live a festival like this, what we normally do traditionally every summer.
Welcome back at the forefront. We have with us right now the pretty and smart daughter of former Manila Mayor Lito Atienza. She's now the vice mayoralty candidate of Aksyon Demokratiko, Ms. Chi Atienza-Valdepeñas. Good morning, Chi.
Good morning, Attorney Karen.
Well, we'll start with something light. We'll show pictures on our LED, and you give us a brief description of the first thing that comes to your mind. So just very quickly, the first thought that comes to your mind. So we'll start with this picture.
Oh, my father.
Very literal. Okay, so your father. Okay.
My guide, my light.
Okay, next picture.
Oh my God. My mentor, my spiritual mentor.
Wow, he's your spiritual mentor.
Yeah.
Okay. Why spiritual?
Because he calls me in the morning to just share the gospel. And sometimes I get my strength from him.
That's really good. You have someone guiding you spiritually. Next picture.
Oh, si Ali, my friend, kasi six kami in the family, Attorney Karen, and I'm the sixth and he's the fifth. Our gap is a little wide. It's 9 years. We're 9 years apart. So more than a brother, I see him as my friend.
Interesting. They play different roles in your life.
Yes.
Next photo.
My best friend.
Oh, is she the only sister?
No, we are 4 in the family.
Na girls?
Na girls.
Okay.
But yeah, growing up, she's been my best friend.
Okay. Why?
We share a lot of mga same wants, same needs, and I run to her when I have problems and vice versa. So we have a lot of similarities.
How many is the age difference between you and
Oh,
Myla?
if Ali's 9 years, she's 10.
Wow.
Kasi they're 1 year apart.
Okay. Next photo.
My family, my everything.
Oh, husband and kids.
My husband, yes.
And you already have a very tall son.
He's taller now. He's around 6'1".
Oh, wow.
He's 18 years old, turning 18. And then our only girl is 14. And our youngest is 9.
Wow.
But they're very supportive. And they're very proud of me now. So,
Is your husband also in politics?
Was.
Okay.
So when I met him, he was #1 councilor in Los Baños. But he opted to tap out sabi niya, gusto niya magtrabaho and to make sure that he provides a stable family for us. So,
Okay. How would you describe your husband in one word?
supportive.
Oh, okay. Next picture.
My friend and my mentor.
Next picture. Well, apparently batchmate.
Yes, light years ago, a batchmate in ABS-CBN Star Circle.
Okay. Was she close to you at the time?
Kasi she's much younger than me. During that time, I was 18 and she was 14.
Oh, wow.
So parang ate niya ako doon, attorney.
Okay, next picture.
Well, Manila. The beautiful Manila. Where everything happens and maraming natutulungan na tao ang City Hall.
So this is the Manila City Hall. Do you see yourself working there?
To be honest with you, I will not be doing this fight. I will not be in this fight if I do not see myself working there. But I lived my life having this building as my second home. Dahil nung simula nung pinanganak ako, Attorney Karen, my dad has always been a public servant and he was a vice mayor for 6 years, which is 2 terms, and the mayor for 3 terms. So parang naging bahay namin, bahay ko ang City Hall dahil doon ako pumupunta palagi pagkatapos kong mag-aral.
So overall, like about 30 years, is that correct? Or, oh no, it's only 63 years.
Yes,
right? So,
yes. So 6 years vice mayor, 9 years mayor, and then he became a congressman after that.
Oh,
So
okay.
iba na, hindi na City Hall.
Was your father the first person to enter into politics among the Atienza family?
Well, in my family, yes, but actually my lolo, Hermenildo Atienza, was a mayor before. So it's a lineage. Pero sa aming pamilya, yes, it was my father who ran. Pero before that, kasi public servant na rin siya. He served as the general manager of NHA and there.
And how many of your siblings are also in politics?
Right now,
I guess overall, like they've been in the past.
Oh, well,
because I think Kim Atienza also was in politics for a while.
So it was my dad, and then my brother, si Kim, and then Ali, but different terms, different years, different administrations. My sister, Maile, there.
Would you know why your Kuya Kim decided not to continue in politics and just concentrate on hosting?
Alam mo, kasi he was the first top-notch councilor in District 5 for 9 years. So 3 terms yon. And then he decided to run for congressman after that, and then he lost. The thing with my brother, si Kuya Kim, when he puts his heart into something, buong-buo. So I think nasaktan siya nung natalo siya. And then he asked the Lord, and I was there when he did that, to be guided kung saan man siyang path pupunta. And he was guided towards the entertainment industry, and he enjoys it, and does not want to leave the entertainment industry kasi masaya na siya doon. So I think it's all about the journey and the, mission of the Lord for us.
Recently, your Kuya Kim's daughter, Eman, also became viral because of a TikTok video about the restaurant bill. What is your position on that issue?
Kasi si Eman is very, liberal. And I would like to respect her opinion. And I think, wag na nating palakihin to dahil kawawa naman yung bata. Minsan rin kasi pag sa social media, hindi natin na-filter mga bagay-bagay. So maybe, hindi naman yun I don't think yun ang intention niya behind it. In fact, I think nagloloko lang siya nun. Quote ng mali. Para sa akin, bata si Eman. And, let's just
in your family, because your father was in politics for a long time, and even your grandfather, were you used to that growing up, like being subject to criticisms or having to face criticisms?
Oh, definitely, definitely. But if there's anything that my father's taught me growing up, that is to live my life for the Lord. So even if I lived on a fishbowl, kahit papaano, hindi naman masama ang nakita sa akin doon sa loob ng fishbowl. Dahil ako'y namuhay para sa Panginoon, and I tried to do my best as his daughter to make the most out of the opportunity of being the daughter of one of the best vice mayor and best mayor of Manila. So mahirap to actually na makita lahat ng tao yung gagawin mo. Pero I felt growing up that it was my responsibility to be a model. So I was very aware actually, when I was growing up, Atty. Karen. And I felt like people were watching me, kids were watching me, so I had to show them how it's like to live a life that is anchored on my faith and sa Panginoon.
What about Ali? Is Ali still in politics, or does he have plans to remain in politics?
Right now, he is not. He is with Department of Agriculture, helping sa Kadiwa program ng ating mahal na Pangulo. And I'm not sure if he has plans to run again, but definitely not in this election.
Let's talk about you as a person. You were also a hands-on mom for several years. What made you decide to finally enter politics?
It was a process for me. Kasi hands-on mom ako. I had to let go of everything that I was doing for around 12 years just to make sure that my kids are, guided well. Pero dinala ko ng Panginoon sa telebisyon bilang isang broadcast journalist. And I think this whole process, kasi 6 na taon ako, Atty. Karen, as a broadcast journalist, the whole process and mga nakita ko in that profession catapulted to my decision to run, because I feel like I was prepared by the Lord through everything that I've been through during the time when naging broadcast journalist ako to the present season of my life.
What would you say is something that you plan to bring to Manila that has not been done before, either by your father, your grandfather, or any of the past mayors of Manila?
Alam mo, sa broadcast journalist, isang nakita ko kasi, ang kawalan ng pag-asa ng mga tao, mga Pilipino, mga Manilenyo, nagmumula yan dahil hindi sila marunong tumayo sa kanilang mga paa. And bilang direktora ng kababaihan ng Maynila, because I am now the director of the organization that my parents built 40 years ago, ang nakatulong sa maraming mga Manilenyo, mga kababaihan, ay ang livelihood. So yan ang hiningi ko kay Yorme, kay Isko Moreno Dumagoso, na ang sinabi ko sa kanya, I will run with you, I will be your vice mayor, I will fight for you, but there is one request that I would like to ask, and that is livelihood program for all. Madaling magbigay ng livelihood, magbigay ng pera sa mga tao, pero ang training, ang pagbabantay sa bawat livelihood na ibibigay mo, yan po ang tingin ko na wala pa ngayon na kaya ko. Dahil for 40 years, ang kababayan ng Maynila na buhay, kahit na may posisyon, walang posisyon, tuloy-tuloy lang to kasi yun ang tinuro namin sa aming mga miyembro. And we also believe in the value of cooperatives, na ang feeling ko, sa Manila, yan ang kaya kong I can bring that on the table na wala pa ngayon na ginagawa. Maraming nagbibigay ng livelihood packages or ayuda, pero para turuan sila kung paano alagaan ito, paano palaguin ito, paano sila makakatayo sa kanilang mga paa, nalalagyan natin ng kaakibat na spiritual guide. Kasi naniniwala ako, we pray and we work. And I would like to teach every Manileño na pagka kami nagbigay ng isang bagay, gagabayan namin kayo na palaguin ito, pero papapasukin din natin ang Panginoon sa inyong buhay, sa inyong mga desisyon, sa inyong matututunan, para pagkatapos namin ituro ito sa inyo, bahala na ang Panginoon na magpalago nito kasama ninyo. Yan ang wala pa. At alam ko kaya kong gawin yun.
What about others who would comment that there's a separation of church and state under our Constitution?
Well, I agree with you, but then again, I am not talking about a legislation. I am talking about I'm talking about training Manileños to work and to pray. So I am not pushing them for any religion. I am not pushing them for any
so they can
belief.
pray to any
No, I'm not talking about, it's more on putting a deeper meaning on what I am trying to teach them. Because I believe that if yung isang tao turuan natin na mag-livelihood, dapat turuan din natin sila na magdasal sa Panginoon. Or kung sino man, kung si Allah, okay lang. Dahil I'm also firm, well, I support the Muslim community too. But for me, spirituality plays a big role in whatever it is that I would like to offer them, because kung ako magbibigay ng isang bagay, alam ko ang Panginoon siya na ang magpapalago nito.
Was there any other candidate that asked you to run with them?
Wala naman, Atty. Karen. Although I told Yorme this, that kung hindi siyang nagtanong sa akin para maging vice-alcalde niya, malamang hindi ako papayag. I'm not here for the position. I am here to support the man because I believe in him, and I believe that in supporting Yorme, Isko Moreno Dumagoso, I am supporting mga Manileños.
How did this tandem happen? we remember years ago, your father, Mayor Lito Atienza, ran as the vice president of Manny Pacquiao. And right now, you have Isko and you as a tandem. How did that get formed?
What do you mean? Okay.
How did that idea come about for you to be the vice mayor?
No, I think it's providential. It's providential. Umiikot lang ako sa Manila. And ever since na ang Buhay Party-list has been there, because I've been heavily helping my dad behind the scenes, nalaman ko yung problema ng mga Manileños. So ikot lang ako ng ikot, inaalam ko mga problema nila as much as possible kung kaya kong solusyonan dahil yung trabaho ko rin naman is national government. So marami ako nagiging kaibigan doon, tumutulong ako. Pero nung napansin ni Yorme yata ito, na medyo aktibo ko sa Maynila, nakita niya ako bilang kanyang tandem. Akala ko una, ang aking kapatid si Chi Atienza will be running as his vice mayor. And behind the scenes, I was actually guiding, helping my brother kasi matagal na akong umiikot at hindi ako natigil umikot sa Maynila, even during the pandemic. Kasi nga, as a director of kababayan ng Maynila, nagtuturo kami ng livelihood for all. And habang nagtuturo kami, inaalam ko yung kwento ng bawat barangay. So all along, I thought si Ali ang tatakbo. But then, he prayed to the Lord and asked the Lord for a sign if he was the one meant to be with Yorme. And mukhang yung sign na hiningi niya, ibinigay na hindi siya ang running mate. So nung tinurn down na niya at sinabi yung susuporta na lang ako sa'yo behind the scenes, sinabi ni Yorme, tinanong ni Yorme kung pwedeng ako ang tumakbo. Hindi ako pumayag kaagad dahil naniniwala ako na kailangan i-angkla ko sa Panginoon ang mga desisyon ko. So ang sinabi ko kay Yorme, kay Isko Moreno, na Dumagoso, na magdadasal muna ako, bigyan ako ng panahon para kausapin ng Panginoon. And he gave me that, and the Lord gave me all the signs that I asked from him. And looking back, I realized it's my destiny to be where I am at this point.
What sign was that, if you can share with us?
It's a long story, but to cut things short, during the time when I was asking the Lord to guide me, my spiritual mentor, Monsignor Mel David, called and gave me a passage about Jeremiah's calling. Sinisip ko, ang lahat naman ng mga pare, alam nila yung mga sinasabing verse palagi. So sabi ko sa Panginoon, gusto ko mas klaro, kailangan malaman ko ikaw ang nagbigay ng sign na to sa akin. Nagbukas po ako ng Biblia, kasi lagi ako nagbubukas ng Biblia. 5 beses pumunta sa parehong pahina, nakatingin ako sa kaliwa. 5 beses bumukas, sabi ko, wala dito ang mensahe mo para sa akin. Napatingin ako sa kanan, nandun pala, parehong verse mula kay Monsi. Sinabi ko sa Panginoon, kailangan mas klaro, kasi baka naman ibang posisyon ang gusto mong itakbuhin ko. Biglaan na lang nung sinabi ko yun sa kanya, may nag-message sa aking Facebook page na some netizen na hindi ko po kilala. At sinabi niya, sana tumakbo ka bilang vice alkalde, kasi gusto kitang iboto at mula ako sa distrito sa East. And then, hindi pa po tapos yun, Atty. Karen. Dahil sinabi ko sa Panginoon, makikipaglaban lang ako kung talagang alam ko ikaw ang nagsabing gawin ko to. Nakakita ako ng senyales, pero kailangan bigyan mo pa akong ng karagdagang senyales. Bigla na lang may nagpadala na naman sa akin na netizen na disobedience will curse you for the rest of your life. And so with that, Atty. Karen, I had to tell the Lord, I have been an open heart and my life has always been His. So with all the promptings that He has given me, I felt like I was being commissioned to do this job, to be where I am at this point.
Very touching story. And how would you describe Isko Moreno as a running mate and also as someone as a politician?
Well, Isko Moreno ay isang totoong tao. Totoong tao na nakakaintindi ng pangangailangan ng mga Manileño. Isang tao na may malaking puso, na sensitibo sa pangangailangan ng mga tao. Isang bagay na hindi marami hindi alam ng iba, pero pag magkasama kami palagi at nagbibigay siya ng tulong sa aming mga constituents at magpapasalamat ang mga tao sa kanya, ang lagi niyang binubulong, huwag ka sa akin magpasalamat, sa Panginoon ka magpasalamat. Hindi alam ng lahat, pero very spiritual si Isko.
It sounds like you and your family are also very spiritual. Who's responsible for that?
I think, kasi nanonood ako sa daddy ko ever since bata pa ako. And I think he trained me to be where I am at this point. And nakita ko, magaling man siyang vice mayor, magaling siyang mayor, magaling siyang congressman. Pero ang hindi alam ng maraming tao, he is a very spiritual man. And during the times when he had to make tough decisions, nakita ko paano siya magdasal sa Panginoon. Yan ang mga bagay na hindi nakikita ng tao, na bilang bunsong anak niya, na masasabi kong very close sa kanya, nakita ko yun sa daddy ko.
And together with Isko Moreno as a potential mayor and you as a vice mayor, what will you prioritize in Manila within the first year of your term?
Okay, well, basic needs. I think the basic needs of every Manileño has to be prioritized. Dahil sa paglilibot ko sa 6 na distrito ng Maynila, nakita ko kulang ang basic necessities. Gamot, maraming namamatay dahil ang mga gamot kulang. Nagkaroon po sila ng appointment system sa mga health centers na hindi na-accommodate ang marami sa ating mga kababayan. And, alam mo naman sa Manila, Atty. Karen, maraming tao. And hindi mo pwede kasi silang ilagay sa isang appointment system, otherwise maraming mamamatay. So definitely, magfo-focus kami muna sa isyong pang-medical para maraming mga kababayan namin ang humabang buhay. And, and at the same time, education. Nakita ko ang mga paaralan na gusali na ginawa ni Isko. Nakita ko rin ang lahat ng mga ginawa niya for the education system ng Manila. Itutuloy natin yan. And actually, it's just a continuity of what he has started when he was mayor of Manila. And being me, new to the mix, livelihood. Yan ang gagawin namin, siguro first 100 days na mararamdaman ng mga kababayan namin. Ang pag-aalaga rin sa ating mga kapatid na nakikipaglaban ng patas. TODA, vendors, yan, tutulungan natin sila. I-organize natin para mas protektado sila kung nasan sila.
Chi, you live in Manila, and the current mayor, Honey May Lacuna, used to be the vice mayor of Isko Moreno. Was she able to continue a lot of the programs that former Mayor Isko started?
Well, magkaiba ang naging programa ni Yorme sa naging programa ng administrasyon ngayon. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Magkaiba.
Thank you so much, Chi. And we'll be back when we return. We'll be with Paulo here at the forefront. At the forefront, we'll take a short break.
What is your biggest mistake?
My greatest beefsteak.
I wanted to do that before I aura.
Aura.
Yeah.
We shine a light on the trailblazers, the disruptors, the titans of industry.
I'm going to eat healthy. It's expensive. Guess what's more expensive? The hospital.
We're not just talking about success stories here. We're diving deep into their hearts and minds to see what drives them.
Ibalik mo ako.
Let's go.
Naiikot ako.
We
Hello
are
po.
live. We are
Industry Beat on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Welcome back at the forefront. And now we're back with Paulo and Chi together. So we'll be asking you current issues, and you each have 30 seconds to give your answer. So I suppose we'll start with Paulo. Okay, or ladies first. How would you assess the current stand of President Bongbong Marcos on the West Philippine Sea issue of this administration?
Well, I think, no, kasi given that nasa exclusive economic zone ng Pilipinas, ang West Philippine Sea, we should actually fight to have sovereignty over it. Well, I feel like we need to have a harder stance regarding this issue because every individual that are affected by the conflict that's happening there, they should feel that we are more than, willing to fight for their rights.
Very well said. Within 30 seconds. Okay, Paulo.
Same question?
Same question.
For me, hindi dapat kailangan mag-promote ng anti-Chinese sentiment. No? That's not the key to win those territories. Sabi nga ng ibang Chinese officials, we're not here for war. We're here for business. Yun lang gusto namin. And to achieve that, we do not have to resort to military action. Dahil unang-una din naman natin kaya. No? So we have to, engage in bilateral talks. Yun lang. Yun po ang paraan.
Okay, next question. People are now feeling the negative impacts of climate change. How would you contribute in your own way to address the issue? We'll start with you, Chi.
Well, if darating sa punto na ako ay maging vice-alkalde ng Maynila, dapat gumawa tayo ng mas maraming green legislations. Because for me, kailangan mas aware tayo sa effect ng climate change kasi nararamdaman natin to na paiba-iba ang mga nangyayari, seasons, no? Iba ang epekto sa ating bansa. And for me, dapat ang mga legislations na gagawin ng City Council balang araw, dapat mas sensitibo to sa ating environment.
Okay. Same question, Paulo. People are now feeling the negative impacts of climate change. How would you contribute in your own way to address the issue?
Siguro kung papalarin po tayo na makaupo sa mababang kapulungan, we will craft meaningful legislation to mitigate the climate change and yung to reduce carbon footprint by promoting electrification sa mass transport, not only for commercial transport, and waste management, proper waste management.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, third question. Assuming resources are not an issue, how would you address poverty in the Philippines? Chi, the timer starts now.
Well, for me, it's pushing mga livelihood talaga for every individual. Because for me, poverty starts in the mind. Pero pag matuto ang ating mga kababayan na makatayo sa kanilang mga paa through livelihood, then I think slowly ma-address ang concern na to.
Okay, same question, Paulo. Assuming resources are not an issue, how would you address poverty in the Philippines? Timer starts now.
I share the same view of Vice Mayor Chi. Kailangan we should give capacity or give capacity building tools to our citizens. Hindi po enough na bigay lang tayo ng bigay ng ayuda o pera. Bigyan natin ng tools para buhay nila ang sarili nila at pagyamanin ang kanilang pamumuhay. That you can do so by giving proper education, giving yung livelihood programs that will ensure that magiging magandang kanilang buhay.
Okay. And For both of you, this is no longer subject to the 30-second limit. Yun yung Miss Universe portion. But you both did very well. You come from families that, you have a predecessor that started in politics. So some people might call that political dynasty. What is your comment, one, on political dynasties? Are you against it? And how would you answer criticisms that you are part of a political dynasty? We'll start with Chi.
Well, I think, it depends on the definition of political dynasty. Because for me, I define it as walang choice yung mga tao kundi sundan ng yapak or yung dynasty ng pamilya. But on my end, tumatakbo po ako at may desisyon ng mga tao kung gusto nila ako iluklok sa posisyon ko. That's the first. And second, depende siguro kung ano ang ulo mo. Kung naging magaling na public servant ang tatay mo, nanay mo, o kung sino man ang sinusundan mong yapak, then I think okay lang na sumunod ang mga anak. Dahil kagaya, pag isang doktor ang magulang, usually, nagiging doktor din ang anak. So I think that is just right. And it's okay because yan ang, like ako for instance, simula na lang na namulat ako dito sa mundo, Atty. Karen, ito na ang buhay ko. So parang, needless to say, dito rin pala ako papunta. Hindi ko man pinlano dahil ang dami kong karerang dinaanan. Sabi mo nga kanina, naging artista ako, naging entrepreneur ako, naging housewife ako, naging broadcast journalist ako. Pero dito rin pala ako babagsak. Ito rin pala ang calling ng Panginoon sa akin. Feeling ko more than a dynasty, I would like to call myself continuity. I would like to continue whatever it was that my father has started in Manila. And I think he was one of the best vice mayor of Manila. And I know how to be that because I saw it.
Thank you so much, Chi. What about you, Paulo?
Sa akin, I think we cannot be considered as political dynasty dahil unang-una, my dad graduated yung first 3 consecutive terms 2013. If we were a dynasty, I could have succeeded him right there and then, 2013. So ito na, pangalawa niya ng 3-term. Kung papalarin, ako pa lang ang sakaling hahalili sa kanya. So I don't think that's a dynasty. And dynasty can take many forms. Halimbawa, congressman ka, yung anak mo konsihal, yung asawa mo vice mayor, yung no offense to vice mayor, pero that's dynasty. Sabay-sabay kayong humahawak ng pwesto. Yun ang sa tingin ko dynasty. Pero at the end of the day, it's the electorate who chooses. Pag nakita nila ang pamilya Atienza mahusay sa pamamalakad, bakit hindi natin bigyan ng pagkakataon, diba? If they have this brand of governance na talagang subok na, that's the reason why probably people vote them repeatedly. Dahil siguro sa legacy na ipinapakita ng kanyang pamilya.
Thank you so much, Paulo and Chi. Both very good points. And it was really wonderful to finally get to know you as individuals. And good luck in the upcoming elections.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you po.
While they come from political families, Paolo Henry Marcoleta and Chi Atienza-Valdepeñas do not think that they can be categorized as political dynasties. As they aspire for political positions, they believe that continuing the type of public service that their fathers have started is more important than their personal goals. Be timely informed, be insightful of the news, always stay at the forefront. Join us again tomorrow for meaningful conversations that would help you form an objective personal opinion. This is Atty. Karen Jimeno. Thank you for spending your hour with us.
It has no authorization.
We hope and pray that it will not.
Thanks for having me here.
Our frustrated
By myself, basically. We always say that.
It depends.
A well-concerted effort.
Perhaps I can reiterate. My greatest beefsteak. Iba pa tayo.